Hey everyone. Hope you're having a great day out there as always. Well, hopefully you haven't been freaking out on the markets as always, right? So my name is Warren Howe. Hope you're having a great day. And we are back with another video. And I think this video is crucial, especially for those that are, don't know what they're doing in the stock market. They're a little new. They are not able to stomach volatility. These are things to consider that I think is very crucial, especially at these times right now. So first of all, I would let's get into it, right? First of all, someone in the private group was actually messaging, right? So hey, coach, can I meet with one of the coaches? Meet with you because they're freaking out, right? They are down on Baba, PaySafe, Wish, with Helion, right? Growth stocks, especially SDC, losing money, growth stocks, I would assume. I didn't really look through his list, but they were actually putting this question, and they're freaking out, right? They're down 110,000. Some people are down worse, and I get a lot of messages right now and saying that, hey, you know what, coach, what are you buying right now? Right? What is your plan right now? How many percent of cash are you holding right now? So I want to address all these, and I think this is crucial. So what I replied was obviously, sorry to hear, right? Sorry to hear that you are down so much. But the very first thing I would ask is, and that's the core, right? Why did you buy the stocks that you won in the first place? Why? Is it a long-term position? Is it a short-term position? Okay, that's the first thing that we need to ask ourselves. Because along the way, we need to know, obviously we need to ask the right questions. We need to ask ourselves the right questions. We need to dig deep into our core and find out, okay, are we highly convicted in this company? What is the basis of these convictions? We can't lie to ourselves, right? And that leads to my second question. Have you done a thorough thesis on your stocks, the stocks that you are listing out? And what are your projections in the long run? What is the game plan? Which actually ties back to number one. Is it a long term or is it short term? Now, it has to be like fundamentally backed, right? Because if you were to buy this and put a position there on, simply because of a trade for short term, and it could be technical analysis, then is that a smart move to be holding all the way if you don't have a plan? You see, when you buy a stock, and it's so easy to lose money in the market. It's so easy to gain money in the market. I said this before in the video, right? All we do is just, a few click of the buttons, a few, typing out how many shares you want, what price you want, and then boom, you profit 20%. Or during a bad time, boom, you probably, if you're long, then you're losing out on 30% or 40%. See, it's so easy. Just a matter of clicks. But what is not easy is that we have to put in the hard work. We have to put in the hard work to actually come up with that decision, right? So all of these are the core decisions before we place that buy. What we do, then we lead down to buy or sell. So we need a very distinct, a very constructive buy plan, constructive sell plan. Why are you doing so? Backed up by figures, right? Projections. Now, if you're not doing that, because these people are actually new to the coaching program, so I have another question. If you haven't done that, these things that are happening, right? Why are the markets freaking out right now? The markets are freaking out because there's a lot of headwinds in the short term. There's Fed tapering, which is happening faster than usual. Yep. There's probably the debt ceiling, right, happening on December 15th. There's inflation fears, especially affecting growth stocks. Now, this is what, in my opinion, this is the major issue, other than the debt ceiling, that will that will affect growth stocks or any other stocks, because inflation means asset prices up. Asset prices up mean lesser earnings. Lesser earnings, especially for no earnings, right? No net income, growth stocks, they will be impacted like huge. So that's why you see their stock prices going down. And probably fourth is obviously Omicron, right? Now, whoever invented on the word Omicron, whoever named it, is probably a Transformers fan, right? But anyway, that being said, Omicron reached the U.S. and the U.S. is freaking out right now, right? So we got these headwinds right here, whether or not these headwinds are, are really giving a fundamental impact on our stocks, right? Now, what is the worst case for Omicron? There's a huge, total lockdown, right? Total lockdown again because the, spread rate is 500%. It's yet to be proven in terms of whether it's mild or serious for our health. That's yet to be seen. But have we learned something from this? We got our friends at Pfizer, right? Moderna, AstraZeneca, whatever it is, right? We got our friends back there who, thankful for them because they're coming up with new vaccines every day, right? They're coming up with how to tackle these mutations. And we are here back there, sitting, relaxing, and letting them do the work, right? My point is, what have we learned in the market nowadays? Will they come up with a new vaccine to tackle this mutation, or will they stop? What do you think? Right? We have to ask ourselves the right questions. What I think is we will definitely, overcome this in a way that, okay, new Delta, new Alpha, whatever, new variant, this is a norm. This is going to be the norm, right? The country cannot afford a lockdown. A lockdown is going to be crazy, right? So that's what's happening for Omicron. That's the worst case. What's the worst case? We should always do a stress test on our portfolios. What is the worst case? What is the bear case? What is the conservative case, right? Bull case, right? So my point is, that's Omicron. Inflation, how is it going to tackle, right? How are we going to tackle it? Do you think that this is an ongoing issue for a few years in? Do you think the asset price, do you think the supply is, not going to keep up with demand in 2 years or 1 year time? And it all ties back to, the first question. What is your buy plan? What are you holding it for? Because if you have done your projections, if you have done your valuations on the company, the game plan of this is to own more shares rather than, just selling because of temporary headwinds. Just selling, you know what's the worst thing we could do? Sell simply because the stock prices are actually dropping. That's the worst thing we can do. If you have convinced yourself that fundamental structure changes are actually different because of, management, you don't agree with the management's that marketing direction or whatnot, okay, that might be a valid reason to sell. But if you are simply selling just because of stock prices going down, now that's a problem. Yep. So just to summarize, why do you buy in the first place? What's your buy plan? What's your sell plan? How long are you going to hold it for? Long term, short term? X amount of years. Number 2, have you done your valuations, your thesis analysis for all of your stocks? It's crucial right now. We need to be in the position of power to be doing so because right now is the best time to be buying on opportunities, if provided that your cash position allows you to do so. You do not want to be affecting your emergency savings. You do not want to be hindering that. That's why, portfolio allocation is important, right? So have you done that? That's number 2. Number 3 is how much cash are you right now, right? Without doing number 2, you can't buy because you need to be in the position of power to know what to buy, what are the opportunities. But the third, are you, you're freaking out because of 110,000 loss, obviously. But what is your cash position on there? Knowing your cash position is whether or not it's healthy will actually determine you and to be flexible, not freaking out and say, hey, you know what? I've done number 1 and 2. I'm comfortable to be buying at this dip right now. If it dips again, don't be freaking out. Don't be crying and say, hey, you know what? The coach told me to buy again. I wish I didn't. Everything here is not financial advice. But what I'm trying to say is we need to build solid reasons why we are buying. The market there are tons of reasons, right, for a market to go down. And in my opinion, this is a healthy correction, which is much needed. But it depends, right? Because a lot of people, they cannot stomach that volatility. Number 4 is, can you stomach that volatility? If the market goes down 10% or 15%, S&P 500 right now from all-time highs are down probably 4 to 5%. It was 3 back then. It's probably 4 now, right? Is that a bear market? It's not a bear market. It's a healthy correction, right? So if all of these stocks, right, that you are holding right now is only affected simply because of market sentiment and short-term panic, should we be selling off right now simply because we're losing and the stock price is going down? but the fundamentals have not changed. In fact, that comes back into two, doing your thesis on them, because we should be updating on the quarter calls, right? Knowing what is the company's strategy, how they're going to improve here on in. For example, SoFi, they're getting more members, they're getting more products. There's flywheel investing, right? Flywheel momentum. They're getting positive EBITDA all the way. Short, just because of the stock price affecting doesn't mean they're losing money. No, right? These have no fundamentals have changed, guys. So I think this is really important. I think this is crucial, especially at these times right now. Liquidity is king, cash is king. So, but that being said, cash is worthless if we have not be in a position of power to identify what opportunities we want to buy. Okay, so I hope you got some value out of this, and I'll see you in the next video.